K-Bar TV, voice of the voices.
Memamo akwaba eba K-Bar TV. So na K-Bar TV there, and I'll bet all the trending issues. It was therefore a fifu free dear pin epo etofoma K-Bar TV. Yeah, the bebro.
Anno Dompreh. The silly minority. Omwe Jimmy Papa. I mean, Mike and I'm fan. This is the silly minority. Very silly and stupid. The silly minority, this is how they speak. This is what we have been saying all this while. Say, when we say the silly minority, this is what we call the silly minority. Very silly and stupid. They speak like they are daft. They speak like animals. So MFA was very right, and MFA will be right every day. The silly minority no any kwasiafo no munie. Now mamenjua bibi munchiro. Yesi Anno Dompreh ka asem ni nie bumienkotie Anno Dompreh de Jimmy kasa no.
So ye MPP ni mapa. Now ko to say MPP for and now say MPP ni any NDC ni ekwa. Boa MPP ni no na yembu NDC ni no. We are giving the EC 1 week. 1 week. 1 week, 7 days. The EC must come and declare our candidate as the winner of the election. If the NDC led by Mahama Yariga will not be reasonable, no matter as you say, Ablekumanov, based on all the evidence available, the winner, no more margin somebody to trust them, they will continue. They are not going to allow the EC to collect.
You see, and it's like I said, the minority, the silly, stupid piglet minority group, I mistake. No. This is Anno Dompreh or your MP. On say Anno Dompreh ka asase mo yenya council of elder bia or MPP bu manin kan bibia. On sa won ti so bia ka se bibia. Says MPP ni ko hu NDC ni a on bununkuno. And this is a fool in parliament telling you and I so you're honorable. Nenum kan kind bo. Kwasia wage in parliament every day. And you know the funny thing, you and I, we are paying this pig. And you see, idea yana say asofo omotene omonsa oba omiaso. Asofo omoso omo ye MPP asofo. Asofo omote Ghana omoso omo de omo penokure ene oman yanchichiri ni ye emu peace council, emu Christian council. Ahemfo akese omoso omo de omo kasa obi anka bi. Omo nyina hu nkwase akasa we obi aka ne to atwom. Adentira one of the piglets. Asemwe anka NDC ni MP ne ko bie na no kan sa asemwe ya anka yenya ohene kwase bi manakasa. Yenya sofo kwase bi akasa. Yenya panyini kwase bi akasa adentira MPP ni ne NDC ni ne kan. But it's because it is one of them. Because it is coming from the NPP and a member of parliament onim the faith. As we sit here, Anno Dompreh is not a legitimate member of parliament. Anno Dompreh during the election on any MPP for a bobi etributuo ewo su the constituency ekuni to twene sa kwasiawe ebe sin the investigations kura ye wie Anno Dompreh ne MPP for bobi to ku no ade anche akwa we beka kire Ghana for say JJ Rollins medra Anno Dompreh and in the group o leadi omo no beka asasem no ebe tena radio so ka kire say an samala bugina paka na emom no na free gallery ni me ne bae 2 days ade achia wasako jele constituency catch Ghana for say so be ehu NDC ni a ombuninku no kwase awe da hote parliament. Why? How did we get here as a people? These are fools. We momo Jimmy. And I don't have any respect for any of them. You see, MPP for no parliament wono. Wan kasa odu weni fema. Nyansani ben pa ne wom for weni fem. MPP for no parliament is ano. Udi weni fem sa minority 88 ma. Nyansani ben ende. Asebesi wo MPP party mu wo parliament. Nyansani ben pa de wo mo bekasa abu bejai. Madam PJ abedan one of the crooks a very dirty old woman entertaining foolishness. Hwɛ ɔmo tutu table no gyina hɔ waka ne to atwem ɛna waka ne siesie so ɛna ɔsɛ nkwara ne twitwi table no because ne bank on ne bangu abrochire because baby and the seat no no sebio nipa dodo no mo hɔ no wo de table hwe ɔmo tirim kɔ mbeto ama no into hu Ghana fo sɛ nyina yɛ jimi into saa 88 fo no mo gu parliament no for woni fam hwɛ so obehu nyansani ba ko wo ma obetuma asɔre akasa sɛ obi anye din ebi wom ebi nim. They are the silly minority. The seriously crazy silly minority, no. And that is why we need to know, say, pathway, no intelligent person should give them that room to come close to power again. When you look at the opposite, share NDC, no, share Nipa Omuwom, share how they conduct themselves. Put aside, say, I am happy the NDC is in power, and I campaign very hard because I know NDC, a Papa Chair MPP, for them to come to power. Put everything. Now look at the NDC majority leader. Sheno, Nano Kasa, the composure, the respect of Okuta. So who in their right senses will get up and say MPP 88 to 100 nyansa. Why? And Okasa or ferry. So we the nimi nyamunti we the so why? Befesa wanga tanase. Now we analysis no. And NPP 88 way why na tumi gina okasa oh we dey yefari nanimo why in giantization nyansa none of them etumi pia bon tabaka another Dompreh it is enough Emefa was right they are in support of this foolishness and you expect Ghanaians na omokoto abatia MPP no to come back and say most ankwasiafo ya pese tumi Ghana ni ben nim nyansa obesa tam tumi ama ankwasiafo we wa obetam to Miyama we no Jimmy. Because since Omuluzu power, they have not shown anything be a answer. We a member of parliament now be one no you expect me to respect you? You expect the taxpayer I didn't seek edema jantra for any woman to give you respect? Because as someone another Dompreh your gun any simple gun and be in a kaya and can court. So why hasn't the IGP invited Anno Dompreh? Because Dompreh is a political IGP. The CID boss, Ojina Hushem, and or the Nkufana him, or Titineniachi. And I don't even know why John Mahama and the NDC are taking so long to sack this group of people. Why are they still in office? I don't even know why the NDC have taken so long. Because the day John Mahama occupied office, now go see a PAM CID up boss, no, only the first person can PAM no. Said IGP na mo investigated the crime. I was saying a CID boss, the first day mo PAM free. What is that woman doing there? Occupying space and taking money on necessary things. And we sit in Ghana and we entertain these 88 fools. This justifies, say, these people are the silly minority. It justifies it. And be being what bet my catcher me. Ebema margin sister say in go for Jimmy and they don't have to come close to power. Now, I say when you study the MPP very well, especially Anno Dompreh and Afenyo Markin, they have issues with a oral. Now, the reason why they have issues with Okujato and oral, and say those people are in serious land grabbing, and I say they are serious land thieves and government facility thieves. Also recently, Okujato Ablakwa approached another Afenyo Markin. Ever since the 99 years, as I say, we are on count once, he's still moving around and speaking like a madman. The issue say waje futu for us for 99 years, no, we jai eno onko hum because that junior say futu for the Jimmy. Onim say oh wait the moment time ebetwem, and that is how they see Ghanaians. Now, my mention akwa we Anno Dompreh. Anno Dompreh, and this goes to the oral team. I will officially send an email to the oral team, and this is very important to Ghana for. So I to say Anno Dompreh na Parliament now of fighting the oral team. And I say oral now, there's a reason. Now you see this woman. The D Ede Barbara Anno Dompreh. Anno Dompreh Nancy no ware no. Now woman we oye juma of Parliament. So oni Anno Dompreh a date ya or parliament. Enti oye obi beka say oye public servant. Oye aban adwumani because sa lady way very arrogant lady. Omu obia okasa te say de wabodam. Sa lady way. Okasa te say sebi toilet gunenum. Ope one arrogant woman is this lady. Etina Anno Dompreh enene da odino e parliament. I know a certain girl Anno Dompreh na wa wanje. That lady approached me to tell me to speak on it. Or the akwara nim nyina be kire me. Kwasia we anje am a lady no. She's now frustrated. Now this lady, one arrogant person. Yekase obi a filthy arrogant, disgusting, despicably arrogant. Sa lady we. Your friend Barbara. It's not Anno Dompreh din wo parliament. I'm going to change, but no, you're more parliament. It's technically or a civil servant. Now, lady way, because or a civil servant in T, your man government bungalow, what Trasacco inside. In fact, that area no, your friend no Trasacco George's Estate. Trasacco George's Estate. The government gave this woman a government bungalow to live in. Now, sa bungalow no bungalow number 26. This goes to the oral team. You people just need to visit that place. Maybe chere with the ekoso say be ya mo bebusa Anno Dompreh say oni Barbara we say what is going on because they are married now. It no dig away na emu anom be ware ye. We ja Kevin the okatansem no hwe kotia da breku album e ho de bobeti bombom onyaminti e ho de ore be ho bibia be fire ma upie fru da ro se nsu to aha de ye dwudwam enti time na Anno Dompreh di no e parliament no e no mni nemu a no mo be ware ye na ke te say we Barbara arrogant Barbara this you have something for me? The team now they are adding something to it. Okay. Into Trasacco George's Estate, they gave this woman Udu Trasacco George's Estate wa Yamamami way government bungalow. Now, what happened was that into Anno Dompreh wari 2020, and sa bungalow near the amono, yama lady no. Oni Anno Dompreh renti an apartment. It was sa estate ho. Oral, listen. Oni Anno Dompreh renti another apartment. Estate number 26. Bronsign. Omo renti private apartment Bronsign. And Mami we Barbara we no. Ojai government bungalow ni man ebusuafo. And oni Anno Dompreh etukotna bungalow nim. Ekotna private estate nim ewo Trasacco wa. Okay. Now, this is the private estate, Mami Fanchero. So this is the house. Omo renti ye. Time na ya this government bungalow na mama no. Or this bungalow na I was say or trim every time no. Instead say or this bungalow ni be ma buying back. Say you see oni Anno Dompreh worry. Now Oma currently another apartment just in that neighborhood which is $4,300 a month, you know. This lady did not give the bungalow back to government. The lady kept the bungalow and then moved her family, her sisters, and her cousins into the bungalow. It's a government bungalow now. Or no, a apartment, sika pay $4,000 a month. You know. Instead of her to release the bungalow, she actually gave the bungalow to her family. And on Anno Dompreh, it took sa down with the same neighborhood. Number 26, Oko Trasacco George's Estate. Anno Dompreh rented down way. Until right after election 2020, Omuluzu elections, no, they started to move things around. They realized that no, they cannot afford the $4,000 a month building way. So what they decided to do, they decided to move back into the bungalow. but not into the bungalow. The bungalow now by the man, there was another house that was next to the bungalow. Now eno ye cheaper than this one. Eno mo be rente eno. To remember, now this one now omoko rente no $4,300 a month no. Aban sisa 2020 no. Eno omo say right now no they need to start moving things around. Into omo free ha no. Ena sa government bungalow no. I the man lady your friend Barbara no. What they did was that there was a building next to that bungalow. A private property, and a bungalow no a share wall. Now, Oral, listen to me. This is Anno Dompreh's wife. She also works at Parliament. She still has access to that bungalow. Now, see what is happening. Tomorrow, Oral should go to this place. This woman, she works at Parliament. Friend Barbara Anno Dompreh. One can say you want to go visit her bungalow. Now, the funny thing they say, sa bungalow no, any property be no oma rent here, any bungalow no bon no. What they have done is that they have broken the wall now at that bungalow no, any property no oma rent no, omo bu wall no, and omo ye serious renovation to put the two buildings together. Tonight they are renovating. In Kofogumu ye juma. Go there. Now the question is, eye den na buying bungalow. Aya we are civil servant. Utumi bubu bungalow no. Esa to another property a bungalow no. Eka ni nyina bom to rebuild it and renovate it to become your own. The question I'm asking is say, Barbara no sa bungalow na aban de man no. Bungalow no watwa na. Why na ton bungalow ni man no? Eya ban bungalow. Oni ni kunu Anno Dompreh. Eya dan na mutumi ebu sa wo na da private property in the bungalow no and they are doing serious renovation met the video but I'm telling the oral team to go there because I want them to ask this Barbara Anno Dompreh say that bungalow who gave her the right to add it to a private property. It's a state property. I'm sorry. Into Barbara way, because we have more Parliament in this dynamano. Sa area hono, JJ Rawlings, and a total in Sassano and OCC government bungalows. So, send a civil servant will get bungalows to live in. It will sa area hona. There are a lot of houses a dosun. Nina ya buying bungalows. Into this lady got opportunity to get access to one. Sometime I demand Anno Dompreh dino. Nemu ano mo be worry ye. It don't worry no. And omoko rente another apartment. And again on the bungalow ni man ebusuafo. Inti omoko tina apartment they were paying $4,300 a month. 2024 power sign no because before power change in 2024 I'm realized that abi omanya faster because they saw said MPP was going to lose. And Anno Dompreh news say why to nyoma ye asikasembe problem na wanya nyoma ntem so a eye edan no mo beje into mo free sa apartment yam de kiremu we no they left this apartment when no mucha $4,300 no they left that place and then what George's estate number 26 no so they stopped paying the $4,300. Now they moved back to the original bungalow na Edema Barbara no and that bungalow no there is a house next to it. And omo ye den omo to sa dan no Anno Dompreh to sa dan no. And what they did was that as we speak they have broken the wall that separates the two buildings and they are not renovating the two buildings together as one building. Now my question to omo de building omo ankasa personal property and omo dan omo to no why na more omo sa right no to take over government property and to build to change the plan, to add it to a private property. We want to ask Anno Dompreh, and this goes to Oral. And I want Okuja to Ablakwa, Mr. Kofi Boache, Martin Kwebu, Mr. Dumelivo. I want you guys to go call this lady, your friend Barbara. Onye Anno Dompreh, you don't know. Mon friend or Parliament. Now, Mumbusan say, your bungalow, are you doing any serious renovation? Why are you doing renovation? Is that your right? Why have you broken the bungalow down to add it to a private property? Is it yours? Did anybody sell it to you? Who sold that government property to you? Hehehe. It's a simple question. Monday, I am officially going to petition a oral. I want them to call this woman, go to Trasako, George's estate. Namumbusa Barbara say, government bungalow ben or team, onfa a dino. Oral, go there. Meno kasana jui. Renovations request so den ting. King. Omo budana tuogu. Omo buwono. And omo the property na join it private property. And another Dompreh de yenya dying AC castle. Kwasia. Ojena social media kase MPP for nkoku MP NDC for another Dompreh kwasia we. I am giving oral till Tuesday. They need to send a group. In fact, they don't have to even work too much. They should call Barbara to lead them to her house. Because on record, Barbara is living in a government bungalow. Let all go there and see what Barbara is doing. Anno Dompreh onene yere. Osemeboa. I am personally going to send a petition to Oral that this needs to be done. Renovation, baby, they can't change anything. To property, a government property, and bu and boom and sini mansion. Assassin ya mene wodia. Bungalow ni ya mene wodia. Teacher ni betuma kwatena ho. Lawyer, police ni betuma kwatena ho. Aban adwuma ni bia betuma kwatena ho. This lady is breaking it down to build a mansion on it. Samoko one enya lokura mo beka nkyere me. I am going to show you videos from Monday. But I want Oral to know this. Mr. Dumeluvo, Mr. Kofi Boache, Okujato Blakwa Honorable, Mr. Kpebu, and then who again? The ball is in your front. Monfra Barbara, go to her house. Official bungalow. Namubusa say, Adena Obubu bungalow na or they are joining private property. You wanna be da ho ama Oral. Mo amuti area ho. Sir, Lady Barbara, we change a year house helps by 15. Or to be tuned to Sugu house helping him. She didn't know say one of her house helps no name a relative. Sir, Lady, we change house helps. I was if you obey 15 times. Sir Barbara no or to be tuned to Sugu house helping him. Another Dompreh. She's able to spit. But no name say one of the house helps in my cousin. And I was watching. Now me show mo. Now mo yeah. Mistreating my cousin. Because I stay in there. I want to know what is happening. Or to be to Sugu house helping him. Barbara na. Another Dompreh no. A filthy woman. But it's simple. I want Oral to question her. No mon kwasa fio because on record she has been given a government bungalow. A child person catch say a man government dying. She has been given a government bungalow. At the end, we dine or they are joining a private property. Simple. They were paying $4,300 or some apartment. I'm the chairman. Sir, property there one next. They were paying $3,500. Another Dompreh was paying that much. Another Dompreh mechanic says, "Sir, apartment now and the kind of say new radio chasing." Now, to Parliament, instead of them to ask serious questions, they are asking about somebody's rent. You bet you will be a rent, and it will be a sasia we are. Now, Yanko Yenim, the silly minority. Me shirt today full. 9 shirt, right? Yeah. I mean, yeah, photo shoot kakra. Girls, no, Obianye radio, Kevin be photo shoot. akwa me hutwa. Girls no mutwa ntem munya ntem. The silly minority munya ntem. Embra. Udwa me kwa. Embra girls no. Daddy, Zazie is here. Hey, Baltimore, Zazie. Zazie is here. Girls man embra. The silly minority. Too sure. Nanani. Mama embra. Yeah, modoa. Wega. Unsha akwada. Wabodam. Shout about could be $100. Unye bia send a message. Ebe bro original. Abuache. $100. Solid pa na wo hu se ma shefonda. Akoya oye advert to a TikTok or so or ton cast grass and brack. Way brack and grass. Akoya tonton ka or a TikTok or say ne ka no grass and bracky. Way a brack and crassy. A crassy and bracky. We got is akwa ton cast working what no. I make a way the mom roof na grass da so and as I brack tinted. I we so a brack and crassy. We got across the bleach, across the liver. All right. $100. Jefu. Hey, me kona dem $1,000 bishem hu. En from there to. And the mini pay me $15,000 say me fan shame hu. Hey, in grafo bi wo sika o. Oba me fi also Kevin take 15,000 my friend. Say also take. E wana me je na me ba no. Na ma mwana bia sha 15,000 or that time. Man of one crane in crane for or me nipa say short man nkwana one crane. Make some them $10,000 now no start be short man. Man miska ka krebia 2 no. All right. Now mommy nkwe nam judwa de bi mu nchira mo. Brack and grass. Where brack and crassy. Across the blade and across the liver. The brown blade is above the water. Now mami Endi sa enkomo we yes say in parliament. I had a minority in parliament, the micro silly minority no. Enkwasiade omokoye in the parliament no. Speaker Alban Bagbin 8BA committee ya. Omo eye investigations. Ewo eye enkwasiade a isi o parliament a. Eye wager for MP no Jerry. Bema we use no trum. Anopa osore odi blade tete ne hwena no. Otumi yi tata blade na ode tete na bodwe time ye ni abre a ye fuka akodwuma no na ode de kwase tete na bodwe Jerry we jagba we for MP no sa kwase pay first time in parliament of twa no ho an ho kan pokre kakra bon no ho red zone kakra won ho sunlight any pokre na osawo medisoft bema baako now omudi nkwase asem no parliament we na speaker Bagbin say we be a committee a sa committee no entina se na omontoto obia no ohobia no na yenhwe de odifo na yema emra no ni adwuma ana se yentwe nipa na so ana nipa kuofo no yentwe omaso in parliament the silly minority led by the silly Afenyomake and the silly Anno Dompreh were there. The majority too were there. They all agreed that a committee should be put together to investigate what happened during the vetting. Abua Osun and the Takrason. Some were 188 members in parliament. Now we're 88. I don't expect or you don't expect me to share the same seat with you. Kami Abua. Inti Alban Bagbin say Abua Osun and Takrason inti NDC for no enko for obviously. Ebe adas chia chin kwasia for no. Now the funny thing is Alban Bagbin set up committee we no. From the beginning, the NPP could have opted out and said, say, we don't even want to volunteer anybody to sit on the committee to listen to incidents and to gather evidence. But the funny thing is, the Afenyomake minority or the silly minority no actually went ahead, agreed to what the speaker said, and said, say, you know what, we are going to get our people to sit on the committee to interrogate or investigate the matter so that we can come to an amicable conclusion. So from the day Alban Bagbin set it up and as the assembly about parliament, if the NPP, the silly minority, had the problem, they wouldn't have even in the first place be part of the committee. But you know the funny thing, these little twerps, these silly minority, they agreed They sat down, they concurred, and they said, yes, we need to also bring our people to sit on the committee to question people on what actually happened during the vetting. And for them to even nominate representatives to sit on the committee is basically admitting that what Alban Bagbin has said or what Parliament has arrived is the best thing for both sides. It's Alpha Nyomaken as the leader of the silly micro minority, they actually got people to go sit on the committee. Now, the hearing started. People were being called. Minority members were being called. Statements were being taken. People came and made statements. People came and corrected facts. People came and gave a vivid explanation of what actually transpired. Time ana adieno Asia omububu table ana Dompreh kwasi ampenyi ni omomaka no entokwa esi ewo vetting nase. Halfway the vetting, from the statements and I said from the accounter oma ye frɛ omu ni nyina no ebeka ye no. In fact, the majority leader, respected majority leader, took time off and came to sit before the committee and told the committee, the people who were there, in fact, the clerk to that committee came there, spoke, gave her vivid editing, part of the story. Workers of parliament who were there, in fact, the marshals, which is parliament police leader, any committee vetting place and tokwadi no almost part of the story. They gave vivid explanation and accounts of what transpired. And the funny thing is, the NPP minority, that is the silly micro minority, still had their representatives sitting, questioning, and listening. And no alone, the say the NPP had admitted or agreed to be part of this process. Now, maybe you don't know something. Now, sir, committee where Alban Bagbin put it together. No, it's a committee that has powers at the High Court in Ghana. So you cannot underestimate that committee. In fact, when you walk to that committee and insult them and they say you have to be jailed, you can go to jail because when they sit like a high court. In fact, Southern Ghana Constitution now, let me show you something here. When you read the Constitution of Ghana, now share committee na Alban Bagbin, at the parliament, standing orders, and embra etiena. Okay, Ghana Constitution na ewo muchodo say sa committee na afenyo marking from the beginning ejitu mu say NPP for bekwa kotenem atoton kofo no ma yehu no kure no. They admitted said that committee has powers like the High Court. It is already chapter 10, the legislature, which is 103 committees of parliament. So parliament committee some of the committees and as a committee it has powers as the High Court. Ewo power to say High Court. Now, so already 103 Committee of Parliament, this is what the Constitution says. Anytime catch will say, it is not personal. It is about the facts and explaining to Ghanaians why Jandam, I was say stop it Jandam. Anything at this platform is big. We get a lot of people coming on this platform to listen. Already Constitution of Ghana, this is what it says. A committee appointed under this article shall have powers, rights, and privileges of the High Court or a justice of the High Court at a trial. 4A. Enforcing the attendance of witnesses and examining them on oath, affirmation, or otherwise. B. Compelling the production of documents. And C. Issuing a commission or request to examine witnesses abroad. Inti almost a committee we Ghana Constitution ne kyerɛ sɛ so omo tena se a omo otumi sɛ omo bɛhyɛ obi ama na bɛtena omo nim atoto na no omo otumi sɛ omo betumi aka kyerɛ sɛ ye hia nkrata we fa breye omo kura betumi asoma ma yakɔ abrokyire ama yakoka akototo obi anu akogye anase adanse e de aba be support dwumadi omudi no omo wo tumi te say high court e wo Ghana omo tenase a omo betumi aye de high court eye nyina enti sa committee na Alban Bagbin ejina eye parliament mraso a eye chapter 10 the legislature over eye 102 committee of parliament the Alban Bagbin ejina so the sa committee no e wo tumi te say eye high court. And the sad to me no, ombetime subpoena, ombetime ka say by force, but na ho ne embusa won sam. Ombetime ka say wo kode fiase. Ombetime ka say wo ya te sekrata bi wo ho, bra na betena so na gire sekrata anim. Ombetumi e wo say okotena omanim a e wo say wudi nsie. You need to take an oath. It is okotena mu na wudi nsie, it is wako wura court a wudi nsie. Asem bi a wo beke bia no, ye betumi di afa ho ebu fo and I say ye de afa ho eja ama wako and I say ama de afa ho edi. So this committee now hu sa no are the majority leader, the clerk to the vetting committee, and other people like the marshals of parliament, and some MPs at no. It is basically a high court. But remember, don't forget. Say committee we no from the day Alban Bagbin parliament G2 no, the NPP from day one nominated people to sit on the committee, meaning they agreed and they respected the constitution of the Republic of Ghana. That is why they agreed to put their people on the committee. So from the day the NPP had representatives sitting on the committee, hearing and questioning, the NPP silly minority, they have automatically adhered or are part of this process, and that they need to respect the court procedure. Iti sa committee no juma mudi ni nyina no e court juma. Say stay with me, Mr. P, stay with me. It is a fraud committee nanim. Now we decide and also we decline here. And to say high court after I will say won't call. That's contempt. You can go to jail. Tie. Makai kra tachro. Mama wati asiye. Sa committee we now my emfa parliament na me show standing orders no what it says emphatically about this committee yenjudwem na Ghana fo nyina hu no kura na ma mbiem when the new standing orders our parliament no ma me show the committee we unique and has the powers to say the High Court of Ghana. It is a obika send onko committee anymore. Sa High Court no the right to subpoena, or that High Court has the right to take decision to say High Court. That committee. Now, so we read the new standing order, parliament document we are my kind show. First one I'm kind no, na the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. Now, I am going to read parliamentary new standing orders. Parliament imra the Kafa committee no. Or say change in membership of committees. Now, the change in membership of committees, it's not important. So, baby, the red line at let me enlarge it so that you can read with me. No, let me read it for you to hear. I think most of you can see it. Or say, general powers of committees. Of committees. Article 1036 of the Constitution. Parliament has infused the Constitution in their standing orders. Meaning, every committee that Parliament puts together, what the powers, it's derived or it gets its powers from the Constitution. It drags its strength from the article of the Constitution's article. It drags its strength from the Constitution. So when a committee in Parliament sits, they sit as a high court because the Constitution, that is the mother document, it recognizes the standing orders, and I say parliamentary standing orders, and our committees in Parliament say a high court. Until when Parliament puts together a committee, it is equally as powerful as a high court. And it's na oko parliamentary standing orders, general powers of committee, Article 1036, which is of the Constitution, 212. Where your parliamentary document almost say a committee shall have powers, rights, and privileges of a high court or a justice of the high court at a trial to enforce attendance of witness and examining them under oath. Almost they can force you to sit and force you to take an oath and answer questions. The committee now who is simple sano, they can demand say come and sit down, take an oath and give us answers. It has the same powers as the High Court. Now the same committee now constitution recognizing I'll say can compel the production of documents. Sa committee will be to will say kofan krata bibra and you cannot resist because you are under oath and the constitution recognizes the standing orders of parliament. Parliament standing orders respect the bigger law of the land, which is the constitution. This article in the parliamentary orders, it derives its strength from the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. When you disrespect the committee, you have disrespected the Constitution of Ghana, and the Constitution of Ghana says, "So parliamentary committee, it is a High Court." So when you see the minority sit in Parliament and agree with the Speaker of Parliament and agree, say, we need to have a committee which the Constitution recognizes and the standing orders of Parliament recognizes. Now later, minority they say we are not going to show up because in their head they think say the chairman of that committee is biased. If you even go to court and you think the judge is not being fair, you cannot just say I'm not going to go to court. The procedure to do that is there. You need to write to the Chief Justice to tell the Chief Justice that this judge is being biased and that change him. But you cannot say when the judge sits down, you will ignore the sittings. No. The moment you do that, you have gone against the constitution of the land. When committee minority, now say minority show up, and this is the reason they are given her. Listen to the minority reason. Adikudientia committee na omu nyinajitimo parliament na omu declining and also omu disrespecting committees omu kotsano. Listen to their reason.
By declaring individuals culpable before they have even appeared before the committee, the chairman, Honorable Bejra, has demonstrated an unacceptable level of prejudice, rendering him unfit to continue in his role. His prior endorsement of disorderly conduct is in direct conflict with the responsibilities entrusted to him in this investigation. Given his publicly stated positions, he lacks the neutrality required to oversee a fair and balanced inquiry into the very conduct he has previously condoned. The clear conflict of interest further disqualifies him from chairing the committee. Amongst other things, he was quoted to have said that if anybody ventures or takes his seat, he was going to be the person. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, the gravity of this matter necessitates the appointment of an impartial and untainted chair who commands the trust of all stakeholders, including witnesses, members of parliament, and the general public. The minority caucus strongly urges the immediate replacement of Honorable Emmanuel Bejra to restore credibility to the committee's work. Only through a fair, unbiased, and transparent process can we ensure that the findings of the committee are accepted and its recommendations duly implemented. We trust.
So, minority no committee ni status omudi ejuma no. Omo share say ye tutun nkofo no nkofo ka no kre no. Ehwa na quickly. Omo ka say omo leadership say mama obia nko enkoma answer. Adentira they have an issue with the chairman of the committee. Omo adwim no chairman ni NDC ni. Chairman no akan sembi omo tie kire say or you bias towards them. Now, the issue here is say chairman no technically or you the judge, one of the judges on this case is biased. Is it a press conference now the Bekachre say you don't want to come before a committee that the constitution is empowering to take care of this issue? Now the question here is, who has the right to stop the committee that has been given the powers by the Constitution to deliver a job? Does a member of parliament or a parliamentary leader, does anyone have the right to say, or best stop a constitutionally put together committee Juma in the interest of the people of Ghana? Because I would say on press conference now, almost say withdraw, go before the committee. If we say who say Mr. Bezrana or the chairman of the committee no or bias. Technically, Mr. Bezrano or a lawyer, now fundamentally, so court to crana appeals court, because appeals court, because appeals court normally 3 judges na tenasi. Now say if you say one of the judges now with you appeal no, or biased. Do you decide not to go to court again, or you use the right channel to tell the Chief Justice that you have a problem with one of the judges because maybe you are beginning to see say or a bias? Do you stop going there, or you find the right channel to let the Chief Justice who appointed those judges to know say there's been a problem? Because as we speak today, Sir Committee we know, when you want to make it put it in a legal form, the Speaker of Parliament, Constitution man to me, emano etis our committee we no or not technically or yet the Chief Justice. So the committee ni BBC. Now so when you say obi ya bias, one of the judges here bias. Who do you go to? How do you go to the person who basically put the committee together for you to go before? Is it not the Speaker? Does any member of parliament have the right to stop anyone from going before the committee? Because the Constitution says the committee, when it sits, it's like the High Court. They can force anybody to come in front of them. As we speak, the list before the committee, technically, everybody is being forced to come before it. Can an individual or a member of parliament sit in parliament and say, don't go before the court? Is that member of parliament bigger than the Constitution?
K-Bar TV, voice of the voices.